So I'm gonna record now. Okay, so I can see we are live. I guess that's, oh, I'm already lagging. Oh, actually, I forget to change my network to the proper one. We do that. Yeah, I was disconnected for a while. Okay, I just swapped my, did you hear me correctly?
Yeah, I could hear you.
Yeah, I had to change my network. I would say the stream is down. Okay, reconnecting now. I'm not sure my connection will be better than yours. We'll see.
I'm sure it depends as well on like what's actually happening in and around the area, how many people are connected, or all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I also have to disconnect this VPN, which is for work and is putting mess all over the place. Now, should we be okay? Okay, so there was a network error. Okay. I'm still not sure if we're up or not.
Yeah, I was just gonna have a quick look and see. I think it looks like it is.
Yeah, there is some lag for sure because connecting to chat. Yeah, okay. You're live now. Okay, so at least we got a chat from John saying we're live. Okay, we'll try to start. So, Steven, what do you think will happen?
We look at the right window. What do I think? I mean, is Matei the favorite? Does he
I
have a
think
he's a
he's,
good scorer?
yeah, and he won 2-1 during the championship, right? So technically he's favorite. But I guess on the
But
paper,
I imagine. Wait, sorry, on paper.
yeah, sorry, I have some lag, so maybe there is a bit of. Yeah, on the paper, James is supposed to be still 2-1 and he's supposed to be still 1-1. So I guess anything can happen. But during the championship, yeah, John says Matei won 2-0, I think. So it was quite a clean win. Have you ever played one of
I
them,
think
Steven?
I've played Matei in some of the club games. I think I don't remember if I've played James. Maybe just online or something.
I think James' style is more steady, and Matei can do fab things and worse things. he can play very bad move at some moment, and but then you think like, oh wow, he's done, and then he finds some absolute tesuji. So it's a bit more unpredictable to play against Matei than James. So James is black actually, so that's interesting because James like solid points and territory, and usually with white I find him very difficult to play. So it will be interesting to see what he does with black. I actually don't know what kind of Fuzuki he likes as black. Oh, white played this nice 5-4 points. Do you like this kind of opening?
I mean, I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like I guess it's just something different. Like you have to, maybe White has a plan or something that they want to play out in the corner, some sort of sequence. Maybe you can catch your opponent off if they're not up to date.
Absolutely, particularly for the one who are working on AI. So just to let you know, I've played this 5-4 points massively for like 1 year. I think I played only that during 2020 and 2019. I actually studied also a bit with the AI. So first of all, if black plays, I would say anything, and you like this kind of shimmery, it can be interesting. Do you see it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose because like if you just play like a 3-4, like you could probably get approached
Yeah,
as White.
exactly.
Like
So that's exactly the idea is to make sure you can have this shimmery. Black usual approach would be that, and then we're going to this variation, which can be interesting, or this variation if you like territory, and you can go for something simple, or you can go for something tricky when you have the ladder. But I would say that's maybe the target of Matei is to get this Shimari, or when you are like me, you actually never play the Shimari, because what you want is the opponent to invade, and make sure you at some point kind of stuck him in the center. So I had studied a lot of variations based on this approach move, but I realized AI only play Sansan. Like they
Yeah.
always play Sansan, and the best answer seems to be just this. So actually, when I played this summer, I played last summer. I played against, I was playing the Korean Cup.
Yeah.
So I played against Baduk Doctor, who is like, I don't know, something Dan Pro, and
Like
so I played
seven
this.
down or something.
Yeah, yeah, and I played this, and what happened? So he played this, which is one of the, and then when you block, so actually if you block straight away, Black can even sacrifice. But if you push first here, then in a way, for example, if Black plays this, then he cannot sacrifice anymore. So can really get him in the corner. Actually, I might put this window here so that my head is down. So that's the kind of, I don't know if Matei studied that or not at all, but remember that the easiest variation for Black is probably to play here, because then you can Keima here or Keima here, and it's pretty straightforward. But if you like influence, you can even go this way. And in a way, if you like consistent thickness, it's a nice, I would say, easy start. So I really think it's worth trying 5 4 points, just because what you said, it's kind of, you have to be creative, so you cannot stick to the old plans.
Yeah, I suppose those and what are they, 5 3 points and things as well.
Yeah. So 5 3 points is also, as you say, very interesting, because we know the AI loves to press. So if Black approach, you can immediately play it. So, but I think with this, probably, I actually didn't check this one that much. Did you? I don't know what AI usually play against 3 5. Is it more the Sansan, or is it more the external approach?
Um, I mean, I think C16 is probably still playable as well.
Okay.
Um, I'm sure it's one of these like there's a couple of options, but it might depend on the whole board.
Yeah, I think as white, I would be very happy, because this shape is supposed to be quite resilient. So in a way, you keep Sante. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, that I actually, you are tempting me to play this in the future, just to test it a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's worth playing about with.
Have you ever played the Taisha, just to try to? I think it's
Yeah.
probably interesting to try it and practice on it. I don't know. Some plans for the future. So, okay, so Black wants to play fast and approach, which is interesting. So he's ready to let white the Shimari, do you think? Yes. So a good old Kobayashi opening. I love it. I think it was a very interesting Fuseki, and I still think it has some good, a pretty good value with AI, so it's not too bad. Did you play it, this Fuseki, Steven?
I had a bad experience against Ohm one time, uh,
As white or as
where
black?
as black
As
because I
black.
think he played the Kobayashi more than I did.
Okay. Yeah, so he knew better than you. Well, yeah,
Yeah, I think I messed up with some of the kind of approaches that you can play, like the two space approach on the bottom right.
yeah. Well, the theory is, in the past, was that whatever you played, you could be pincered, and then black was building as you were going out. So you were supposed to either try something like that, to not get pincered, or some people get creative with this kind of move and then be able to play there, just to make sure black was really flat. But I think all this changed because the AI really don't mind, and I think they just approach normally. I think AI just like kind of play a regular approach move. They don't mind about giving black the territory. But this is was the most common, and black could then play this, and then you had this very well. Usually white don't play here because it's too nice for black to build a nice wall. So black would just push, and I think actually they are playing one of these variations in the game, so we're gonna see it. And of course, the problem is white can always invade here, and there is plenty of nice follow-up for, well, I think everybody knows this variation, but something like that. So it's a bit, for me, it's a bit annoying as black to have to keep that in mind that you might lose all this territory. So, but I actually still like Kobayashi, but I was playing, when I was playing it, because I was playing this version. Did you play this one ever?
It's not something I've tried yet, but I mean, I saw the idea is to get rid of that invasion, but it does leave the right side a bit wider.
Absolutely, yeah. But the idea of this one is really to get into this kind of variations. So it's really not the same idea. It's to create a weak white group. So if you like attacking, it's quite interesting because you're nearly sure that at some point white will jump in. And usually your group on the left won't be too heavily under attack because you're able to, I would say, jump in the corner and you are in the center. So basically, it's a very nice way to make sure there is a weak group on the board. So if you're an attacker player, that can be interesting. Okay, so in the game, white played here. So there is really two main variations. This one, which is more to create a weak group, and I think the trend is to play very simple, maybe. And there is this variation which gives a lot of point to white, but that can actually be pretty interesting if you want to build a super thick wall on the center. So if you play this way, it becomes quite difficult for white to go out, but white can play this, which obviously make a lot of points. So I understand that James won't play this because it's really losing a lot of points. Whereas this way you keep your corner and your side territory and you have a weak group to attack, so it makes sense. Oh, so do you know these variations, Stephen? Because I don't know all the variations here.
Yeah,
Um,
I think this is what caught me out one time when I tried it against Owen, and it was in like one of the it was in like the top eight qualifications as well. So probably not the best time to be trying something new,
to
but
okay, well, actually, some people say it's
or
the
maybe
best
yeah.
time to, yeah, because then you kind of exactly what you said, you get creative and in a way you get your best go. I was wondering, do you think it's safer to maybe do that? I just feel in the
But
game having the peep is painful, but
I mean, you also get access to the tops or the kind of the rest of the side as well if black doesn't block, right? I
yeah.
mean, black probably doesn't want to block either.
And to come back to this pincer, I think there is also this pincer, right? Which is a bit different because then I thought I can't remember the variation where basically black was doing a hane, no? Am I forgetting something? Or
Yeah, there probably is, but I think the bamboo joint, the idea is probably just to stop white living in the corner as easily.
yeah, I remember something like that. Like, so that makes me think that this Kosumi was maybe an important move. Whereas in the game, really, the shape of white is really attackable. And I mean, you don't want to spend one move doing that. Like, or you can Tenuki again. Okay, well, I guess at this stage it's very equal, and black gets what he wants with the Kobayashi, so he got a potential weak group to attack and some potential, well, some kind of territory in the south, but there is still this invasion point here, which actually white can also just try to go as far as possible in this direction if you really want to reduce the right hand side. You don't have to absolutely wedge, and I think you can try to do that, right? If you want to. You
This is
cannot play that.
definitely life and death practice here anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go for like some comb shape or something, like worst case scenario.
Well, what would be good is if you can play this move, but here I don't think it works, so you have to build it up a bit. But with this stone here, actually black cannot really double honey, right? So I think if you can play this way, you can play that and this, no? Does it work? What's the status here?
It's a good question.
Well, I guess there is nothing you can do as black here.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a trick.
Okay, anyway, so there is this inversion point. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see it at some point. And white's Tenuki. What do you think? Is it reasonable?
Uh, I mean, maybe I'd like to answer in the, maybe like Q14 or something because, but
Q4.
I have a feeling,
Okay, yeah.
but I have a feeling though that maybe white will just try and reduce it in some way, or I don't know if white can get away with jumping in that early. But, if black could get now 08 or something, maybe you could get a nice framework.
Okay, but do you think white should not add a move on this group? Like, is
White
it too?
move, 08, yeah.
I don't know. I find this group in the center is a bit. I mean, it's difficult to do anything when you have a weak group. So usually I prefer to I would say waste a move. Well, actually, maybe
Waste the
this.
right move.
It's just gathering your strength before, because otherwise you really cannot. For example, just to talk about this point, if we play this kind of sequence, like you see the strengths of black, and this you can feel it's becoming painful, like for white. So I find it difficult to play anything when you have a weak group straight from the start. So I wonder if it's not worth doing a move. Actually, I think I saw an old game between Sakata and I can't remember who, and I think he played exactly this opening. And because now that I see it, I remember him playing something like that.
Yeah,
I really think adding a move around here is a good thing, even if it looks very
yeah.
slow.
I think there was one with um what was the Japanese pro as well from kind of like the 60s or something that was playing against uh, there was an old Korean game I think I shared a while back. Like it's like I don't know,
Where they
the name will come back.
where they were playing this opening too.
Yeah, but it's like I remember looking at it and even playing it out on the real board, and I just don't know what white gets out of the opening. Like
But
it was
keep
hard for me to evaluate it.
Yeah, but keep in mind, for example, in this board position, black gets some points at the south, but we already see that at any point white could invade the right side. When you play this kind of move, which looks very slow, look at the two black stone on the right; they become super attackable.
Mm,
So let's say something like that happen. Now you will be, I mean, suddenly you are not a weak group anymore. You're a potential attacker, and you will take control of the game. And I think that's something that's much more important than taking points at the beginning, because the points should come naturally at some point.
mm,
Whereas if you don't add a move, you will at some point you will lose control of the game. Like if, as you said exactly, if black plays something like that, you're under pressure. It's consolidating the black group. It offers some invasion at the top here. So it's always the same thing. When you have a weak group, you must afford letting black play additional stone in the center, attacking, and you lose control of the board. So maybe if you are not behind, in a way you don't play your strategy because you have to to react to the attack all the time.
mm.
We have some comment. Hi Strasser, playing on Friday. This is maybe with AI. Never play R6. No, I'm just seeing the chat now. So this is maybe why AI never play R6. Yeah, true. Maybe because this white group in the beginning is not interesting enough. So actually, that's funny because we have this shape too in the north. So we'll see what happens. Oh, black is invading here. Interesting. So this leads to so many difficult variations. Let's look at my favorite. So you know this one, Steven?
I probably don't know it. No.
So it's just basically there you can play here, and there's this and this. So any move around here is Sante, and now you have to leave, and something like that. Like so anyway, so this is the tricky one where everybody got some weak group. There is some fight. It's I think when you play this kind of 5-4 points, you have to be ready for this kind. Well, as white, you choose to trigger this variation. So if you like it, you can play it anytime when black plays this move. You just do the Hane inside.
Yeah. So
Um,
like the further it gets into the game, the more you have to probably think about this variation, I guess. Because
Absolutely, because here with the white stone, it's already very interesting for white to play it. So I guess if black plays here, white should actually do it because it's if you play on the other side, it looks a bit over concentrated, right? Slightly. It's not a bad shape, of course, but it looks a bit too much. Let's play something, and if black uh, jumps in, then suddenly you will be over concentrated. So. But of course, black can avoid these variations by, for example, playing this, and here the ladder is good for him, I guess. Is it? Ooh, oh, it's too tricky. Is it a good ladder? So you see what ladder I'm talking about? So this one. So is it good for white? No. So actually, it's an interesting variations for white too. So black plays this in the game, it seems. Okay. And oh well, actually, that's what they play in the game.
yeah.
And
Okay.
white
So
plays.
well, I
Oh,
also thought that the letter wasn't good.
okay, yeah, but that's so usually when you want to play this, I think you would actually connect because it put more pressure on black because no black has to live in the corner. So that leaves a bit more time to your two stones to survive. Like if you, let's say you play something like that, of course black can play something like that, I think. But because black was under pressure to leave, that gives you time to, fight back against the stone in the center. Whereas in the game, Matei, it's Matei white, right? Yes. So Matei
Yeah.
plays here and then plays there. So black has much less pressure, I would say, because at any point this will be nearly Sante, so he probably can leave in the corner in Sante, I
Mm.
guess. Oh, we have catch up? No, not yet. Okay, so black take a big corner, which knowing James will please him a lot. And so I guess maybe a small mistake by Matei here, because we can see this stone at E14 would probably be a bit more. Well, actually, the thing is, if the stone at E14 was at D15, I think black would have to add a move. Whereas here, he can probably Tenuki. So that's a big change. Basically, it offered black Sante, I think. Itachi Pro. Which one is the board? So the main board, the biggest one is the review, and the small one is the main game. Because I guess our putting on the variations on the small board would be impossible to really see. Actually, I should maybe put this board a bit bigger. I can actually, I think. I don't know. I've put the big board a bit bigger, so it should be a bit better. Okay, so let's stop here. What do you think, Steven? Who would you play?
I have to look at it for a second. Yeah, I mean, I guess black looks like they have nice kind of frameworks, like on the right side and on the bottom, just like kind of big looking areas. I know you said there's still an invasion at H3, but um, I don't know. I mean, is does White need to defend here at like M16 or something? Is that going to help Black build?
It's always a very big point, very big. But the stone at O17 is not in immediate danger. It can live in it can jump in the corner at any point. So I would say it's not an absolutely needed move, but it's super big. But I agree with you. I think at this stage I slightly prefer black just because there is no weak group. You have a potential white group to attack. You have Sante now to play this move. And I think this move is very good. It's at the border of the white framework and the potential black one. So, and there is still kind of some big edgy on the D13 stone for the future. So, yeah, overall, I think black's position is interesting. Not a big lead, but I would say it's slightly a lead, which is really difficult to assess. So let's see if white answer that. Let's say white doesn't want to answer. What would white play? It's difficult to counter attack on the two stones, right? Like if white play a pincer like that, is this an option? Seems dangerous for white too, right? Because let's play super bluntly something like that, and then suddenly white has two groups to defend, right?
Yeah, it's a bit tricky
So what are white's options?
for jumping in on the side.
Well, to play
Or
if white doesn't take the points at the top, what is white best move? So you could try to go the other way around, like forget about the side territory and go for a central thickness. I think it's not completely stupid because it's consistent with the C12 stones. You're kind of slowly building a kind of framework. And also it's a friend to this stone here in 06, right?
yeah,
So actually, I kind of find this move interesting because it's kind of playing at the border of the Tumoyo and not taking care about the 017 stone at all. So I think it might be more interesting than just answering. Okay, white takes points in the game, which
I
again
think
is big. Yeah.
the thing that I find kind of tricky though, specifically about the bottom side of the board, is which direction do you actually want to attack the white groups? Like when you actually come back to it, like which way do you want to try and drive the white group?
Well, I
Because
guess you're right. It's difficult, but it depends probably on what will happen. Right now, with the N15 stone, it starts to make sense to drive this way, right? Because you're
hmm,
really building a framework. Before this stone, it was not that obvious. Because depending, let's say a fight starts somewhere, you might actually want to bring a bit of central thickness just to have some distant friends from these 1-3 stones. So I would say it's probably why black didn't attack straight away anyway. You need to know where to attack to make some profit out of the attack. And it's not always easy at the beginning to make sure of that. So it's usually a good idea anyway. Remember that when the opponent has a weak group, it's his problem. So you don't have to hurry about it, because if he has to spend 1 or 2 moves to consolidate it, happy days, you have to move elsewhere. And if he doesn't, then during the whole game he has to remember that, I have this weak group, I have to take care of it. And it's a kind of pain in your line of thought that you have to think about all the time. So
I think this is
oh,
pretty much exactly what Iman is asking about, which is does white actually have to do something about the O6 group?
okay, I didn't see that. I don't see the chat
And
live.
I just saw it there, but it's like it pretty much fits in exactly into the discussion, like where
Yeah,
you said
so I will tell
it's
you
just
my
white's problem.
I will tell you my answer is do it now, like add a stone now, because then you don't have to think about it anymore and you can develop a strategy. Whereas here, black is choosing when he will attack, how he will attack, and in a way, it prevent well. And in the game, he does attack. So because of this white group, you don't have a real control of the flow of the game. So and actually, so it was Keen asking that, right? So that's interesting because we played yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. So we played a game together, and I actually in the game I didn't do much more than just that. I just left the weak group, key and weak group on the board, and in the end there were two or three. So I just finally launched an attack on all of them together, and the points came out of that. So usually I would say keeping one, two weak groups on the board is usually not a good idea, except if you're super good at Sabaki and life and death, and you know how to handle weak groups very, very well. But apart from AI and top players, it's not usually so easy.
Yeah, it's great when you're good. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Or Sakata was quite good at that, and like taking points and leaving three weak groups and then making them all alive, and that's it. Okay, so I start to like black more and more, just because he has a kind of nice, I would say, attacking stance. Yeah, so white cannot just run and let black build. So in a way, white has to build. I wonder if white could not just play something like that. But yeah, it's painful. It looks very. Oops.
maybe this could be. Maybe White wants to do this, but later,
Yeah,
like
but
see how Black answers this and see if he
yeah,
gets
but
a chance.
like if I'm black, I might play that now because
Mm.
it immediately asks white, okay, which group do you save? And I mean, white doesn't even have one eye, right? Like he has one eye in Gote, so he really needs, like, if let's say white runs, situation is kind of really annoying, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially the when you put it on the board, K7 is it's quite annoying.
Yeah, K7 or this one, like, and remember that black doesn't really have to, even something like that. I mean, black can just have to leave basically.
Mm.
So it's not. I would really not feel comfortable at this stage invading with white. And if I was black, I would play there because if white jumps now, then you have really this white stone will just die. And if white starts to do things on the top, then you really have no eye as white. So black starts by this. Ooh. So white plays super heavily here. So I thought white would play something, just ready to sacrifice something because I would really
Just
not feel comfortable about living on both sides.
turn it into a reduction somehow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can choose, like, if blacks really want to play a move like that, well, you can reduce later on. So at least you've played a reduction and now you have left some edge behind. But straight away leaving like that, wow. And now black can play this move like
Black got
perfect
both
timing.
both the moves they wanted.
Yeah, so wow. No, I really don't want to be white, really. So black is going to first, of course, attack this group, consolidate, and then come back to the other group, and we'll see what happens. But let's, okay, so this might be a bit brutal. So this is very difficult to command this part, except by analyzing all variations. Which move would you play as black here, Stephen?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the first thing I would think about is just following White with M13, but then I'd have to read what happens with
Like that?
O15, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I guess this will be very difficult to keep white separated here.
yeah,
And even your shape as black is a bit, I would say, thin. So maybe this, well, I would say black's shape is thin, so you don't have to kill white anyway. The target is not to kill white. The main target here is to consolidate these stones on the O8 stones and make sure that you can come back, and because let's remember there is maybe some problems with this kind of move. So you've got to be sure, like, of course, it probably doesn't work right now, but you have to be sure about your shape. And for example, if there is a stone around here, it might be become a problem in the future. So it will be very difficult
Yeah.
to do anything to kill this group, but black wants to end up being solid after that. So I
Yeah. So I suppose
understand, yeah.
you have to try and lean on the top group
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah, but it's definitely also consolidating white a lot. So that means, for example, this kind of move, which was very big and Sante, are not there anymore after that. So you are definitely losing a lot with this push. So you have to make sure that you get something serious out of it. But now I guess your move works, right? I would say it works better now. But black didn't play that. Oh, he played the Kosumi, okay. So black should have what he wants, which is thickness, and white leaves. And we have catch up with the game. Okay. So listen, we're exactly in the position we were expecting. So black did attack, and I think now if there is no cut at R8, which we must check, if I am black, I'm just trying to kill that group, no? Like this move seems nice. It protects the cut at N9 and it attacks white. So is there a cut here? Or is there something here? There is maybe an eye, right? So that's the problem.
So S9 didn't really fix everything, I suppose.
Well, it did, but now that
Okay,
white played that,
S10.
it's a problem again. But the question is, oh, they played that in the game. So the question is, can black play that instead? And what happens then? So first, if white cuts, I guess you can play this, right? So the question is, well, actually, yes, but you can make an eye. So that's the main thing. So white is alive, but now the
It's
other
a,
group might not be alive.
yeah, it's the other one's damaged.
Well, it's damaged, but if it's alive, it's okay. And actually, can white maybe just play this? No. So yeah, black probably has to play R9 instead of R7. And actually, maybe this just works. So now can black kill white at the top?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Try and separate the groups.
yeah. So, and white doesn't even have an eye now, so, but there is this move, which is super painful. It's not so easy, huh? I mean, the shape of black now, it might also, so what happened is black played this and white didn't. Played R8. It's normal, this move is kind of 100% Sante. And yeah, so I really don't like the Toby here, because we see that we saw that the black group is a bit fragile, and at some point there is a fear that this black group might come under attack. So at the very least, black needs to consolidate it now. But
It's also putting a white stone where you kind of wanted a black stone earlier, like
yeah,
on L
yeah,
L7.
exactly. And so the question is, maybe these black stones at K6 is super useful, but here in the overall board position, it's not obvious, right? It's not like you can build a framework on the left-hand side, or so. In terms of direction of play, I would have said this is more secure, and this actually is, so the best white can do is probably kind of play this. But even if you don't want to kill again, if you play this, super happy days, like you have fixed your H3 weak point in Sente, and white is still not out of the woods. So, and now that you have played one, you have secured your the potential cut here, so you have solved most of your problems. And again, if you build the whole bottom, it's like, how much is it? 3, 6, 9. So yes, 30 points. And you will end up with Sante. The only bad thing is this push at N16 here. It was really a big loss because this really, now you can't play this anymore. So, and at any point, white can jump in the corner or at Q18. So you have lost a lot of points by doing that. So
So I think John asking about the wedge again at P8.
at
Uh,
P8, so I would say my feeling is it doesn't work because when we tried it, so okay, so let's play the variation. So if black just play here, what do you do? Like you're cut immediately, and it's not like you can really go out. So of course white can try that, but it seems really too much. So I don't think it works. I would prefer I really think this move is better because it's like basically, I think white is alive with this move.
so I think it was specifically after white gets K5 in your other variation, but I guess white still gets cut off on that. Like the white gets split into two groups or something
Yeah,
today.
yeah. I think this wedge, whatever happens on the left-hand side, black can always play this variation. And if you play that, it's really not really interesting. And if you cut, I don't think I'm missing something, right? So it just doesn't work. I don't know if John, okay. I don't know why. It's always the same when I'm doing streaming. The chat in Twitch, I just see one move. After black, play K5. K5. Oh, white, like this. Yeah, because it's true that there is also the question about can black play this? But same idea here. I wouldn't feel very comfortable about this shape as black. So I think the wedge for both is kind of a bit too much, but maybe I'm misreading. Okay, so in the game, white get a little, how do we call that? Elephant eye. And
Yeah,
black.
the white's poking it out.
So now I'm really worried about black. I mean, actually, what I was saying before was because I don't know if this is not Sante against the, but at least this is probably Sante, and then isn't there a problem here? Well, not now, but I feel that black shape is a bit thin. And again, I'm not sure the stone that black just added here and here are going to be very, well, they are eroding white potential, but it's not like black can build a lot out of it, right?
Yeah.
So white is going out. Ooh, strange. Okay,
Do you think
Steven,
black's
what do you think of that?
do you think black is worried about like by playing L8, are they worried about like a cut you were looking at M9 or something?
Oh yeah. That's why I think these two moves were bad because these two moves were not good because they were not taking into account this cut. But why not just? Well, the shape is really bad, but maybe just that or that. I don't know. I just find that this push here, we know that white will play that, right? So
And if you're
so
not going to block a J7. but white's kind of getting out either way.
Yeah, no, no. In any case, you have you know how I know I knew a I think it was a Korean player. He was calling this shape the Romeo and Juliet. So basically, when you have a pillar of three stones and Romeo and Juliet are on each side of it, and they really cannot communicate, and in the other variation, it's the same. So basically, so of course you can say there is two Romeo and Juliet in a row because K9 is also split, but we really don't mind about K9. It's not an important stone. So it looks like a pity to have this shape like and white going out of it. And I would say the edge is not completely solved. There is still a potential cut at L11, or white can still try to push and see what happens. So anyway, I find the shape a bit strange for black, but I think it's a result of these two moves, really. Like it's not easy to fix it. If black plays here, white will just have fun with the group and maybe play that. And you can see now the whole black group is nearly under attack, or at least not in a good position. And if you play that, then you have this push, which is really annoying. So I guess if we come back to this move was much better, right?
I mean,
It's always
it definitely makes me sweat looking at that move.
which
Looking
one?
at white, yeah, just like anything like L7 or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's always a difficult, very thin line between attacking and being attacked, right? It's always the same. You have a wall, and you know Shoshi Hun was always saying, a wall you can attack it. So it's a bit like a wall is a wall until you are getting so close to the group you are attacking that it becomes slowly more and more fragile, and suddenly it becomes a weak group. So it's exactly the case here. Like at some point we're super happy with black being solid, and so here black doesn't answer this move, and he play on the, I would say, the wrong side. So he's pushing white against his group, and in a way we have now this stone, this stone, and this stone were played by white, and black basically didn't answer them. So slowly the black group is being attacked. Okay, so what happens next? Yeah, so black tried to just not push too much into his own territory. So I really wonder why. So white maybe doesn't want to play this because he doesn't want to weaken his top group. You think it's the reason?
Yeah, I think that seems to make sense. Like, yeah, maybe, and like you were saying before, if black can strengthen the cut on the left side, then maybe it's even more severe.
Mm. Actually,
If white gets weak.
I think a move that white has to play, and it's absolutely sure it's good, it's this move because it's Yose and it's Sente, and it's the good timing to do it because black doesn't want to lose the attack now. So if black doesn't answer, white makes some points, he's alive and super happy. So black will answer, and then you play the super big Yose move in Sente. And you have to play this kind of move when you are threatening to leave, because if it happens in, let's say, I don't know, we are like that, and later on you're white and you play this, well, black will play elsewhere now. So you have to play this kind of Sente Yose move when they are threatening to make your group alive, because it looks small, but it's actually super big Yose. And if you play it when it's Sente, well, it's Sente Yose. So it's much better than Gote Yose, right?
It's definitely something that wouldn't cross my mind.
So
Maybe it's
I think
taken
it's
out
a,
of it.
yeah, but I think it's the kind of little details that pay off in the end, because and this one is kind of an easy rule to remember. It's like when you are living, even if a move is not making you alive, if it's a big Yose point and it's threatened to make you alive, play it. Of course, I know when you are trying to live, usually you're focused on, okay, I must survive, but you must also think at what happens after that. You must be confident that you will be alive, and say like, okay, what will I do when I will be alive? And then you start to think about these little points and make sure that you are getting them correct. White has a mighty fine stick. Yeah, it's actually a stick fight. We have two sticks in the middle of the board. Okay, so black really is relentless and doesn't want to let go. What do you think, Steven?
I don't know. I mean, do you think that this,
I think
like,
it's
white can jump down or something
yeah,
maybe?
yeah,
And
yeah. Like we have already seen that white. I'm pretty sure white knows that he have this move in reserve, and honestly, even if black played this kind of move, uh, I mean black has to play that. So that means white basically can leave at any time. So I mean, I don't think white is too much worried, and I mean this kind of move are still here. So that means for now this whole area here is not black territory, and basically, of course, I understand that if black plays here, he's losing the attack. Well, probably even play that, and that's really bad also. But that probably means that there is something wrong before. Because I'm not sure what the best move here really as black. Actually, maybe the best move is to play something a bit more. But it's always the same. It's painful to do anything like even a leaning attack when you know that at any point white can come back and leave. Because you know when you do a leaning attack, you're kind of giving points to white first. So it's okay if you are going to kill or at least to make some profit elsewhere. But the more and more we don't see where black is going to profit from the attack, right?
yeah, and if white ends up eventually jumping down into
Yeah,
an
you will lose
invasion spot that
points.
should have been fixed.
Because at this stage, what did black get from the attack? Nothing, right? He didn't consolidate yet h3. He has lost this move here at the top, which was very big. So in a way, he kind of reduced his corner by pushing at n16. So the only thing he has is this kind of, I would say, central little area, which of course reduces white potential. But I don't think black is getting enough from the attack that was quite promising. If we come back to this stage, where we felt super confident for black, it seems in a few move, a few direction mistake maybe not. Maybe I would agree with James. I don't know.
Well, it's also kind of tricky to, like, in terms of trying to counter, right? Like, I'd say black probably has like less than 30 points in the bottom.
Yeah, he would have
And
30 only
then,
if he gets everything.
yeah. And then the top left is maybe what?
With
I
the
don't know, there's a
monkey.
potential monkey jump. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's less than 10, maybe,
yeah.
depending.
Let's say 10.
10. And then, but then white also doesn't really have any big territories. Like, this stake probably isn't going to make more than 2 points, if anything, unless it can actually attack or. And then what is there, like, maybe 20 on the top?
3, 6. Yeah, exactly 20. Yeah. Yeah, but 20.
And
But you can jump here, so you can extend, and the left hand side should be more white than black, right?
yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
I mean, it all depends, but if black was strongly attacking, I would agree. But right now, look at these black stones at g7. It could come under attack, like white can just push and cut. I mean, I don't know what white played in the game, but even just pushing and cutting, like it looks, and white can play this kind of move first, so black need now to think, do I play that and connect everybody, or do I play this? But then there will be problem all over the place. Like, yeah, there is this cut now. So, and again, it's okay if you are going to kill white, but if white can live, then the question is really, what are you gaining from all that? So, if you are confident to end up with a super big sickness in Sante and invade the left-hand side, I agree the game would be probably maybe in black favor. But right now, at least it's even, or I would start to really prefer white. Okay, so white push and jump. Maybe just a one space jump, okay. Yeah, so let's see how white will handle this shape, because it's a kind of you even want to to try things like that, no? Because you have Hane on both sides. So you could play this way, or you could play this way, or you can play this way. So it's It seems a funny move, no?
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Okay,
But
this
then
is
what if black doesn't hane though and just extends like to like J4?
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I guess you would try this.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
so again, let's say you have exchanges move first. The question is, can you do something funky? So maybe now that's the time to play this kind of move, because now, of course, if you can play this kind of move in Sante, it might help you do something. I don't know. Maybe it's anyway. Anyway, it was more a trick move than something really. You need to read it all in a way to make sure it works. Because if you play this kind of move and it fails, you can lose everything. So
yeah.
I think
Maybe you live
this.
on the bottom, but everything in the middle might die.
Yeah, maybe this is a bit too cautious.
Yeah, I mean, I would have thought of H5 before H4. Well,
Okay,
I don't.
then
I mean, I don't have a good reason for why.
why not go for this straight away? Because if like there is this cut at G9, right? So
Hmm. Yeah, I guess you're not worried about black trying to exchange a peep at H5 first, because you'll just cut right at
uh,
G9 if you're thinking of doing it.
yeah, the peep. So well, I mean, the more solid you are, the more you can attack. So now black really has a problem, and this stone, let's say it's like that. I don't know. The peep at 2 won't help that much preventing the invasion, I guess. So okay, well, I guess maybe white just want to leave and okay, what happens there? I would say so. So what happens if, well, maybe first, what happens if black just take the points? Maybe it was the safe approach now, because in a way, black had, because white was a bit cautious, I think black had limited the damage, right?
Hmm.
Like now, even this is Centeno, or this. So I think white is playing too cautious here. And I think black is playing too dangerous here. Wouldn't you take the point here?
Yeah, probably.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
unless I really wanted to continue attacking, but
yeah, it seems like James want to kill absolutely. Like, but here, my feeling is black can just take the points. It's 30 points. Well, of course, what might happen is this now, which is a bit annoying, but at least you can play a little bit like. But can black really die here? I don't think so, right? I mean, there is no
I mean,
rush.
until that happens.
Yeah. No, but I mean, at least you've taken 30
Yeah.
points at the bottom, like so you can play the game. But here it's like all or nothing, right? So white counters attacks. I guess what black wanted to play this, but does it really help? Actually, yeah. So black really wanted to kill, but white's counter attack. Hard luck. That's a nice move, right? It seems really a nice move by Matei.
I mean, it looks like it's a Suji.
Yeah. Well, it's. I think even if it doesn't work 100%, it makes black position more difficult to handle. So, I mean, if black connects, and even if white comes back to connect now, the shape is at least worse than before for black. So, I think it's a
Yeah.
good move in any case.
Yeah, I guess like because now maybe you can even think about jumping down with J3, possibly. Like if you know.
J3. Yeah, but I think you mean before connecting?
Yeah, maybe that's bit too
Well, no,
dangerous.
maybe it's a good. I mean, we have to read it out, but
Mm,
I guess maybe it's a bit too much. But now
yeah.
black has to consolidate there, right? Or otherwise he will get cut.
Mm.
I don't know.
But
It's
I guess I was just thinking that I guess M7 might be sent today, like you were saying. That he probably still has to come back and defend it.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, at this stage, for sure, black has to add a move. But even like that now, I mean, not sure what would go on here. Well, white is not alive, but again, we have this. So in any case, we can see this good move by white is really putting a shape problem on black, which actually immediately shows that the L6 exchange is not good because you would never play it now as black. So in a way, white was very successful in making this L6 stone look bad. Can black play this? It looks horrible, but it's maybe more consistent with the initial plan, which was if white was pushing and cutting. I guess that was the idea, right?
Yeah.
So what if black plays there? Because black still has the white still has the cut to take care of, right? So black must still white must still be careful too. So I think here, here.
Nest or
So
something.
yeah,
It's a bit scary. I know you probably don't have enough liberties on the bottom,
yeah,
but
but black has to be careful too, right? So
mm,
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But if white can squeeze the whole thing and come back, well, he's still not alive, but he has another option for an eye here, and he can still play there. And he
mm,
destroyed the whole site. So,
yeah,
but still, I think I would prefer that to that. It's both are empty triangle anyway, so it's not like there is a good shape.
no. Oh,
And white played that. Wow, Matei wants to kill. Um, okay. What happens here? Do you want to really? So what if black cuts? I mean, the problem is even this is painful.
mm,
So black, I think, has to go this way, right?
yes.
I think that's what he does in the game. So now the sequence is like forced. What?
Mm.
Does this work? What? But what if black just play that?
Yeah, it just connects through that way. But white can probably make an eye on the bottom now, can they? With J, I guess when they connect up with
Yes, but
J2.
the right-hand side is cut now.
Oh, it's clear. Yeah.
Well, it's
Mm,
not. Maybe it's not that bad if white can get something else and sacrifice, and we still have R8. But
mm.
I mean, white was such in a good shape now. So what happened? How many liberties for black? Like, why cannot do that? No. Hmm. It's a tricky one, right? Are they still playing?
They're on move 94, I think. Are they like one ahead?
Yeah, no, I just want, because I see the main game, I just want to be sure nobody resigned, right?
Mm. Yeah, I'll check now.
I'm just trying to, I am lost in all my windows.
I think James has about 13 minutes left, and Matei has like 40.
Okay, so they are thinking now.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the review. So, okay, so first, could white do nothing better here? So what about this? It looks like the most natural move, right?
Yeah.
Like you were going for a shibori, but
Maybe there's some squeeze or something. Is there like, because I imagine K3 stone gets captured,
yeah, but
but maybe you can.
the problem is white is cut in two now. So
Well, is there like some kind of? I don't think any kind of squeezes work today, like with L5 and.
L5. So yeah, the full squeeze. But then you play. What do you play then? You're stuck.
Can you play M? Oh, you can't. You can't. You probably can't come through M. Yeah, M3.
Well, you can always play this and this and this and capture this.
Mm.
And of course, white will escape on the other side, but no, you're well. Of course, if this works, then in a way you've destroyed on both sides. So that's it's all about this move now. And I actually the main thing is I don't think black has a good answer to this move, right? The best he can play is that, and he cannot fight against that. Like this doesn't work. Just doesn't work. So that means at any point white can leave and then hope to leave on the top. And black has to add a move. So the question is white alive? My feeling is he is, but so maybe that's why Matei is not afraid actually. Maybe because he knows that he can leave at any point with R8. So for now he's just trying to destroy the lower side and come back.
Yeah,
Maybe that seems the plan because otherwise this sequence, like you might be well maybe he was expecting black to play this. If you can play that, it's for sure is very good for white, like because your shape is when you have destroyed the side, and even now there is a problem for black here.
yeah, yeah.
So, so I guess white was expecting black to not cut now. Maybe he didn't. But what I'm surprised is white seemed to have played very quickly this move afterwards.
Mm.
And this move for oh, okay, so black just answered there. Okay, so black is going to play that. I think. I don't see any other outcome. Wasn't this dangerous for black to add a move? So what if I think that what James took a lot of time, so I guess he calculated that.
Yeah.
So the question is, if black plays here, well, actually, it's nearly done already. Like, you can play this and this, and you've lost part of your territory, but if you capture the central stone, it's a good game, really.
Mm.
So, actually, white is in trouble, no? So, white can play this and this. That's not so bad.
So you kind of have to finish this. You either need to escape, or you kind of want Sente to come back and play R8, right?
Yes, that's the thing. White has to live on both sides, but if you look well, black is not fully safe on both sides either. Like this group on the right now is not fully alive, and these stones at G4 are not perfectly healthy either. So let's say, okay, maybe you can play this and this just to make sure this is dead.
Mm.
But then you have a problem probably around here, right? So white will get something out of it. I think white will lose a stick on the right. That's my feeling at this stage.
Mm.
But if white get the whole bottom left corner, it might not be good enough. So, wow, they really went into a crazy variation here. I was not expecting that kind of push, push, push. Wow, it's not working, is it? Yeah, it is working. But what if white had played that? No. Okay. So wow, James is really accurate in his play. Like because he could have jumped on this, right? He could have jumped on this move. That's the first move we thought about. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I'm connected. But James wanted to avoid exactly what you said, like this kind of, well, we said this move first, and then this move, and black is not in a good position, actually. Well, maybe he
Mm.
can try to capture the sticks, but he will be reduced, and oops, oops. So we said black, white, black, white. So now we know that white can, maybe white can start with this because it's so big, and if white end up in Sante, then white can come back and live in the sticks.
Mm.
Well, still at this stage, we must say white has 3 groups which are not completely alive, so he's quite busy, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a complicated variation.
Yeah. But I find that black fight it hard because this move, well, actually that way he took really a lot of time. Like it's like if you misread something and you die, it's game over. So,
Mm.
but if it works, white shape is much less viable to leave. So that's quite a good move, I think, really. And this, I didn't expect. But yeah, really, white has to play that, otherwise he's immediately captured. Yeah, there is no real fancy variations, right? So white has to play that. Well, actually, I don't know if white had to play that because it's not really a useful move. So actually, white is in is actually that's quite a good move, right? Because what can white do? I mean, white won't have even an eye at the bottom. So this is pretty much the same as these variations. So there is no real agi. And now white has to both live with that, and so white will attack this for sure. But
Mm.
he doesn't have that many liberties now, so it's not even so easy, right?
Yeah. Very patch or something on the bottom.
Yeah, you're dead. Like,
Mm.
oh, does this work? Uh, you're dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, white is in a very difficult position. I think this move is really great. So white push once, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think Rory is cheering on James.
yeah.
We have supporters. There's definite
Absolutely,
sides.
yeah. That's good. Some people rooting for others. So let's see now, because white has much more liberties in these variations. So, oh, they're coming to these variations. So that's funny because we were studying it. Now, let's see. You are white, Steven. What do you want to play?
Hmm. I mean, I thought like initially, I mean E3, but then maybe even like F2 or something. But I don't know if you live.
So
I
the
don't know
first
if you
thing
can
is
outlive. Yeah, black can probably play E2 and then D3 and.
E2. So what do you play here? That seems not so bad, right?
Hmm.
The problem is this stone at the top, like, so yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, at the very top. Yeah.
so let's say this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is bad.
Yeah, but then you can try to escape there.
Hmm.
So there is still a bit of potential for white to make trouble, but
There's like, oh yeah,
if this doesn't work, he gets destroyed absolutely everywhere. But there is still some tricky variations here. So, and what did you say the timing was? Because actually, I think the reading here will be very important. So,
James has 5 minutes and Matei has like 37. So
okay, so yeah, because James has a lot of reading to do here.
we can hope Matei takes equal as much time, and he can
Yeah,
use
well,
Matei's
white,
time to
white,
read.
white is better to read now because like the move he's gonna play is this is like I'm really not sure what the best move here. You can also want to cut straight away,
Mm,
but this way you really got not so many liberties, right? So you don't even have time to play this kind of move because you're dead straight away. No, you're not. Okay. So yeah, the cut could be interesting actually. Just because it asks first what to do on the top, so you might end up if you have a Sente move like this, then it becomes much easier to kill these stones, right? I guess your
mm.
move is working very fine. Even this might work, no?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You might end up lose. Do you lose some stones at the top this way though? Oh yeah. Oh, you tired off first.
Yeah, that's the thing with this Atari Sente. And the fact that there is 3 stones on the right, it's very difficult for black to approach. So that's why the push.
Well,
But
here
now,
black can still
yeah,
play an Atari.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
tricky.
Well, anyway, I played 2 like that. It's probably a very bad move, but it was just to show that we could have. I think the cut is probably what is creating the most trouble.
Mm.
But still, white is on a tightrope. It's a really one liberty thing. So I wouldn't know what's the best option here between playing straight away on f2, like you suggested, or cutting. I think I would cut. Because one of the risks here is that, well, actually, if black plays anything, you can always connect underneath. But even if this is this kind of sequence, black will be super happy, no? Because he captured the stone. I think white has to add a move here to be safe, and if black can play here, then bottom is super strong and this central stone won't die. So then black can of course play Hane, but that becomes really difficult to read. So if they go into these variations, what would you play then? Actually, I think white played the f2. So we are going into these variations. So I think black will try to play this, right? But then we have to calculate. So can white cut? That's the first thing to look at, because that's what put black into an. The good thing is you can, if you can cut, is black doesn't have some choice. He has only 2 liberties, so he has to play a one-way sequence that works. So if you can read them
Yeah.
all and none of them works, in a way there is no room for shenanigans.
Mm.
So I think black doesn't even have time. Oh, okay. Are we sure the ladder is not working? I didn't check it. Wait, 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 black, wait, black. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, so the ladder is not working, which means this stone won't be really useful because you cannot really play this at array. So really, the only thing you have to play is this. That's the only move.
Yeah.
And then,
And then,
so first of all, there's probably a ko if white wants, but let's not even talk about the ko for now. Can black do something out of that? So that's the sequence we played before, right? So let's say white play this. This. we say this is not working, right? For white, I mean.
Yeah, there's a throwing and
Yeah,
things.
white would like to play here. It
Or
wins
yeah.
one liberty, but you don't know. Okay, you're losing. So okay, so it's not working for white. So does white has a better sequence that I'm missing?
Yeah, I guess you don't want to play G3 or E4. You don't want to force
Yeah, yeah, but okay. So this way. So we have to play this one first all the time, and then there. Okay, so capture, but you have to play there, right, to prevent connection. So it's it's going very fast. You're dead very quickly. Okay, so
yeah.
probably this is too much. So yeah, there's no need to rush. You can just play there, right?
Or F1 maybe, but I feel it's very similar.
This one is good because it gives you plenty of liberties, and
Mm.
black still have not so many. So if black plays here, which gives him suddenly 5 liberties, let's play here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 5. So in a way, you should be good, no? As white.
Depending on E6 or something.
Yeah, so let's say there is nothing at e6, just to make it clear.
Yeah.
Who wins? I mean, you cannot really even approach. You can try a ko. Yeah, it's not even it's a multi-step ko. So I think that's difficult for black.
But would you think of playing D3 instead of E3?
Yeah. So okay. So I guess that's more interesting. But then there is a big damage summary on the stone, really. So you have to be super careful. So that's where you
Oh
play
yeah.
this move.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we go in the sequence where the fight goes on at the top.
Mm.
So I think that's a good move because
Could you Hane underneath as black? Like after C3 and then
there.
C2, yeah. It
Um,
doesn't really help, does it?
yeah. Well, the thing is, as you say, the problem is to make sure that it is really winning some liberties in the end. Because if it's just going on the side but you didn't win anything, but oops. The thing is, I don't know how many steps this is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think in any case there will be a ko of some sort. I don't see this ending without a ko, but black has so many. I mean, black can always play this, right? So that's 10, 15 ko threats. So in the game, I think white played here, which is interesting too, but probably leads to another kind of ko because now black on the left is more in a rush. So let's say we play this just to see. I think white is dead here, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
So white will go for the ko. What's the situation? Oh, white didn't answer yet. So first, white cannot really do that now because black can play this. Oh, no, white can play this. So black has to play this. And that should be easy to calculate, right? So white play here, here, here. Maybe you can get a ko again like that. That's a ko again.
Hmm. The slightly better code, maybe.
That's a good call for black, right? Because
Yeah.
white doesn't have a threat. So actually, it was what if white doesn't do this Hatari, which is probably the biggest threat on the board, and just play this. Now white has to play it because otherwise black will play that. And actually, we might come to an exchange.
Do you think black is a bit too thick in the center and then kills the right as well?
Well, I don't think he will kill the right, but if he kills by playing 12, he kills the sticks. So we have to count.
Yeah.
But that doesn't look good enough for black. It seems he could get better, right?
Hmm.
So is
Yeah.
there any? It's a one-way street, no? If white connects, I mean, black can only connect. White can only remove liberties. I don't see any other fancy options. In a way, because white played this move, there is no time for the cut here, like which was this cut was nice, but now it's too short on liberties for everybody to play it. So we won't go through this road, which means we'll go through this road. Black has to connect. White has actually maybe no. White has to play that. So that's something we didn't look at. Like maybe actually there is some new li additional liberties here. No? Oh no. Actually, sorry. Black lose his own liberties with 9. Um,
Yeah, you
and
think maybe E6 might still give something later?
this no looks good because if then you can capture this stone.
Yeah.
And if even if white plays something super aggressive like that, you can capture the stones. So, and if white play this, then you got this move. And I think with this move, you have one more liberties. Oh no. Sorry, misreading again. Well, then there is nothing. Like that means at this stage, it's can black just connect? Is it better? Hey, actually, no, because now it takes edges for so yeah. So this is a win.
For for black.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so
in
why
fact,
why 7?
so the difference is to not throw in. So in fact,
Connected E4.
yeah, connect at E1 instead of.
Oh
I
yeah,
was always
E1.
playing this, but actually this is helping white because this is creating. This is removing a liberties. No. How did I save white? So how can white save himself? Did I find any variation where white was okay?
Um, well, here you exchanged the Atari and then went for the outside, was it? But then, yeah, you don't have enough liberties for that one.
Yeah, but oh yeah, you mean I played this? Yeah, okay. So that's the only way. If
Mm,
you play this way, you have to sacrifice the 5 stones.
yeah.
But if you don't play the throw-in,
Can you still play for the outside though as white, like D2?
d2, yeah, the same.
Like kind of similar idea.
Yeah, okay. So if you play one as white, you capture the black stones. But because you cannot play the loser liberty, because you need the 2 liberties at h6 and j6, you cannot connect your central stones.
Like 33 points ahead. It's from
What?
the chat. The chat saying Cadigo thinks Black's ahead by like 30 points.
After this capture, or I don't know. At this stage in the game, I don't know what they played. Oh, what happened there? Oh, what did White play?
Yeah.
Okay, so White went for a call. Well, it's a strange call because it's a call, but White can still. Oh yeah, White can play the Atari first. Really? So what if Black plays that? No, so it doesn't work. So yeah, okay. Um, yeah, the thing is, Black doesn't have big co-threat, right? He can threaten to capture the stick, but it's already half captured.
Maybe threaten the other group on top.
Yeah, because in a way, if you look, okay, Black lost the stones in co, but that means that he's not in a rush to play it, right?
Mm.
He can play it later on. Oh, what? Is it the game move? Oh my god, genius move by James.
Mm.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. Oh yeah, it works. Oh my god, I didn't see that at all. Very well
Oh,
done.
because you can play K. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't work, but it works. So
that's funny.
that's very well read. Didn't see that. And this is, yeah.
Well, we didn't really look at this variation with this kind of squeeze on the left,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, now this is game over. Okay. Yeah, so no White is trying the whatever he can, but I don't see anything happening there. I mean, Black can even just play there and probably cut.
Mm.
I mean, this group has enough liberties to do the Atari, so.
So everything's actually dead.
Well, I guess you have to be a bit careful about this group. So if you want to be super safe, I don't see a problem with this move. I guess the
Yeah.
idea is to, well, yeah, I guess Black should play that. It's the safest way. Nothing can happen. So let's wait, because we know in Go nothing is uh, absolutely settled before the end, and probably White is in Black is in Byoyomi. But very well read by Black. Actually, to come back to what we said, so this move was probably bad, because
Yeah.
we had found we said that this move was actually working quite nicely for White. Like the only way for Black to play was to play this and then to push, and that was an exchange.
But then I think
And
the right bottom right still dies, right? The bottom right
yeah, yeah.
corner.
So if I think Black has to add a move now to make sure it's completely dead.
Mm.
And this move is nearly Sante on the top group. Like you are not sure you won't die if you don't add a move. And let's say White add a move. The question is who is ahead. So it looks a big corner. There is a big white corner. So actually, I don't know. That would be interesting to know who is ahead in this exchange. But for sure, that's better than the game. Like,
Mm.
and to have,
There's a new score estimator. That's the thing I was saying earlier.
okay, you mean that we can
Even
use
on the
now?
review board. Well, yeah, you
Okay.
see on the sidebar, there's this
Black leads by 26.16.
that's the supposedly it's Caligo estimate on the board,
Okay.
and
Well,
I think
it looks accurate, right? When you look at the dots.
mm,
At least he seems to have designed territories in a way that is consistent with what we would calculate.
mm.
So it's Katago. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it was a bit kind of a controversial addition to OGS recently because they put it on initially they actually put it on ongoing games, but it's a bit too
Oh yeah, yeah, no.
it's a bit too strong for ongoing games, really. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You don't want people to use that all the time. Oh, back to you. Oh, what happened in the game?
We look away for too
What?
long.
What? Yeah. Oh, black. Yeah. Well, okay. So black played that, which makes sense because we knew that otherwise white can leave.
Mm.
And white did some magic, but why did black play that? What's the problem with this move? It's not going to die anyway. I don't understand.
Was there some idea to cut a R2 and then play S1 or something? There's no like no code that way or something.
Yeah, but if you have not lose the two stones, even a cut won't help. Um, even if you do that, I mean, you can just. Oh no, okay, it's a go for life too. Okay, but still losing these two stones. My God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So probably that means that black should have played that. There's still a core, right? Yeah, still a core. No, it's not a core. Okay, so one would have been a good Hane. Is there another funky thing like that?
Yeah, like some throwing.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to work.
Mm.
So I guess that's the only option. Well, actually,
Unless you could like clamp at S1 or something crazy, but I have a feeling.
yeah. I guess that's still, but I mean, the problem is you never, because now the two stone are in Atari, you cannot really do anything, right? It's not like you're gonna do an eye, so
Yeah.
one was better. Actually, where is the problem? There is no problem. I don't know why we are saying that.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, okay. That's the resign sequence.
Mm. Yeah, game finished actually. Yeah.
Okay. Well, James played super well well, he basically played very good beginning, then had a kind of few strange directions,
Mm.
and starting from there, this looks like a super move, but then this was too much here. Like, and here, maybe like letting white black cut was probably too much. Like, I mean, white can connect, and if black plays this, you have already, in a way, won something. Well, not that clear though. So I understand that black and white went for this, but this proved to not work very well. Okay. Um, do we have the main board? Where is it? I'm completely lost in my tabs. I wanted to see. Do you see the AI analysis of the game of the main board?
Yeah, there's a win rate, but I can run it through the level of Catago I have on OGS if you want. I can
Yeah,
send you the link.
just so that we
And
can.
you can see some variations then. Uh, let me just re-upload it.
So yeah, that was a pretty impressive reading by James in the full 30 last moves. Like,
I've put a link there in the review, just in the review chat.
okay. So I load it now. What is happening on the main board? It's not. Oh yeah, I have to change. But the problem is if I put this, it won't be the good size, right? So black one wins was ahead all the time.
Supposedly.
So maybe it's not worth me showing it to everybody because it's actually quite clear. So The first move was okay. Let's maybe what I should do is open this in another window and make sure I have the real. Okay, so let me go on my review. I'm actually not sure where my review is now. Really bad with that. Okay, so it's loading. So the first real nice move, key moves are S10. S10. Wow, really? So that's what he called the key move. But first I see that black had actually that's funny because we talked about it. So um,
Are
you still
you
hear
are you
you
showing it? Are you going to
uh,
show it in the
yeah,
review board or?
yeah, exactly. That's the plan. So you still hear me correctly?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I can see
okay.
it moving now.
Okay, so this move we talked about it. So actually here, black takes the lead. So white was not supposed to Atari. So the variations that, so we said that with the bad ladder, it might be just not a good move. But yeah, so in that case, you're supposed to play this, it seems.
Mm.
I guess I try to remember the variations here. Does it allow maybe just to take points like that? Something like that. But this move, when you don't have the ladder, is not so good. So in the variations, black jumps from 50 to 60%, 69%, so 70%. So, and then this move again, we say it is a bit of bad options, the move where you go up here. So we talked about that, but then the next key move is actually much later, because from there, I would say black gradually improve his leads, but not so much. So he goes to from 70 to 80%, which is quite good already. Oh, interesting. So you remember also when we said here this move. So actually the move I was talking about is the move recommended by the AI. So this move is really the move to play, and we explain why in the review, because it's kind of immediately setting up the splitting attack, and if white goes out, I guess white is immediately into trouble. So that's one of the variation we've looked at.
Yeah,
But then the big last move is this one here. It seems to be super bad, which is strange, right? Oh
yeah,
yeah, so actually you won't believe it. Guess what the AI wants to do?
I won't believe
The wedge, of course,
it.
that we said was not working. So I'm not sure how to look at variations on this review by the AI, but is there any variations, like if I play the move? Oh yeah.
Are you looking at the game or the review?
Yeah, I'm looking at both. So I have one screen with the review, with the AI analysis, and I can show in the review. So that's the sequence that the AI wants for white. So we said this was not working, but he still wants to play it. So a 4, 5, because it allows this. I'm not sure what's the point of all this, really. It seems that the fact to have a stone at 3, oh yeah, I guess the point is that the stone at 3 makes the group alive, maybe? Well, I would definitely not be confident about that as white.
No.
Yeah, it seems obvious that things are going well for white now, and black push, white play down. Well, okay, that's a crazy AI variations. Like, makes no sense to me, really.
Yeah, well, you could play P10 either maybe instead of the Hane. You could just pull back at P10.
P10.
Well, I mean after the attach, like
You mean here?
yeah, when
Oh yeah, here. Yeah.
yeah, you could
Yeah,
pull back.
the thing is with three, it seems to be hard to kill, but how confident do you have to be to make sure you're alive here? Like,
Yeah, I'd say fairly confident.
well, it's not obvious to kill, but I don't know. Maybe just that.
Yeah,
It's true that there is some potential here, but okay. Well, I guess white is very confident to leave here with this wedge, which I would never have guessed. So here is too cautious a lot. So at this stage, it's like it's going to 95% winning rate for black. So I guess at this stage, white thinks the AI thinks that black can kill, right? Oh,
yeah.
actually,
So if it
and he
loses 13 points
yeah,
or
but he
something,
wants black to play here, and I guess he thinks that this kills white on the top too.
mm,
So for sure, yeah, actually, when he plays that, he wants white to add a move. So that means I think now white is dead, right? So of course, if black can play this move in Sante and then kill the bottom, happy days for black. But again, we are not so sure that this black stone at Q9 would be Sante, right?
mm,
Okay, and then the next big mistake is at M14. What is M14? M14. Oh, actually, yeah, I didn't really. I thought he was putting them in the good order, but no. So M14 was really bad. The Kosumi beforehand, and then R10. Yeah, okay, so it's before. So yeah, after this mistake by white, I'm looking at the sequence. So even this move that we didn't like, the Toby, you remember?
mm,
So this move.
yeah,
So it's still very bad because it goes from 95% winning rate to 77, but it's not that bad. It's
yeah.
still actually I'm trying the Kosumi now to see, but I'm not sure if he's giving me the score with the Kosumi. Yeah, no, he doesn't give me the new score. Okay. Anyway, at this stage, black is steadily ahead all the time. So that means even everything, even this, where we're not so sure, black, the AI is happy with black's position. He says still 92% for black.
Mm,
So it seems my Romeo and Juliet position was not so dramatic for black.
mm.
But again, that's very difficult to assess this kind of estimation by the AI because maybe the AI is absolutely confident that white can do no trouble here, but we could see plenty of opportunity for white to do so.
And lots of tight liberty races and things the
Yeah.
way I went in the game.
Well, it seems black never loses in the AI variation in the AI graph, which means during this whole sequence here, probably white never had a real chance. But we actually saw that even this variation that we studied here, was it this one? Yeah. So this one, we looked at the score afterwards and we saw that black was ahead by 20 points. So I mean, this was probably super good for black too, even if it's not, you have to calculate precisely to be sure of that. But yeah, it seems like a good variation for black too. So I would say really well done, James. What do you think? He played
Yeah, it's really, really very
solid,
well. Like in
solid game.
control. Like
Yeah, yeah. He attacked the weak groups, and in the end, he killed one of them, two of them. He killed two of them, right? Yeah, he
yeah,
killed this one and then this one.
he cut them. He cut it in half and then killed both halves.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty impressive. Okay. Well, Stephen, I think we can stop there. What do you think?
Yeah. Unless there's anything. Oh yeah. John is saying to look at points difference rather than the win rates.
Okay. Yeah, I really
But
have to get used to this AI stuff.
there's
Yeah.
like a toggle on the graph for win and score. So like kind of throughout the middle game, it's more like black is about somewhere between 5 and 10 points ahead, and then it jumps to like 20s, and
Yeah,
then
when he's attacking
already so
white.
on.
Yeah, but we could feel Black was confident in his strategy. So it seems Kobayashi worked fine. He basically built a kind of framework with a white weak group in the middle and attacked him straight from the beginning of the middle game and killed everywhere. So that's definitely a successful Kobayashi.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Thank you so much, Steven. That was quite nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it anyway. Hopefully, other people found it useful or entertaining. Or
Yeah, hope to. And we definitely have some material for Tuesdays to make this kind of reviews. Remember, for everybody, on Friday we have this event against the French club Lyon Shinogi. So we are missing a few players. If you want to play, I think there is a 6Q, Steven, if you're interested, and 6Q French is probably quite 4Q or something, so that could be interesting.
is there?
So I see Tashi Pro asking if they have double-digit queue. So I have already registered you, but I'm still waiting for them to confirm that they have double-digit queue. For now, they don't have, so I hope they will find
Just
some.
no double digit Qs in all of
I guess they
Leon.
are. No, they are, but I guess maybe they are the same as us. They have no real. Usually, they are a very active club, but because they have been so many weeks without meeting, there is a bit less reactive people.
Mm.
John, I could play if there is still space. There is actually one space. I got two done for you if you want. So Gavin said he would be interested for the first two dan, and so if you're interested, John, I can put you in for the second two dan. So it will be quite a challenging game because French two dan are usually quite strong, but I put your name in. And so I will check for 12Q. I really have your name already in you and Graham actually, but for now they didn't identify any 12Q. James said, I thought R8 for white would leave at the bottom. R8. Oh yeah. I agree. So James, if you are still hearing us, we thought all along that Matei was keeping R8 to live in the bottom because for us it leaves um, so before all that. So we agree that we actually shown this variation. I think this leaves black cannot fight, so black has to back up and white is alive. So white could live here, but once you've captured this big first dragon, the game is over anyway. But before that, I think white could have played more simple, maybe just try to. Well, actually, your move at J2, James, so huge confidence and good reading. And actually, I remember you took a lot of time to read there. And that's very good because we were talking with Steven and we were like, oh, black is can connect and it's perfect. But we then realized that this kind of sequence was actually not so good for black because if white can escape on the left, and now with all the liberties, he can probably do some damage. Then he might even end up in Sante and come back to play R8. And even if he doesn't come back, but if he captured the whole bottom left, then he's not so bad. So I think your move at J2 was really good reading, like not submissive, thinking, okay, if it plays this way, you can capture the left side, and if he plays on the other side, you can connect and make sure that white has a very poor shape. And we could see in the ensuing fight that this move at J2 was the winning move. Like it's white had so few liberties, so well done. Good anticipation, really. Okay, everyone, have a good evening. Steven, thank you so much for joining, and let's do that
Yeah,
again.
yeah, I had fun. I'd like to do it again. Yeah.
And I'll stop the recording and end the stream. See you soon.
Cool. See ya.